Welcome to the FIS Battle of the Champions in Al Oasis, Saudi Arabia. That's right, we're here for the second time in Saudi Arabia and starting things off big this year in 2019. This is our second live stream of this action-packed Champions Weekend out here in Saudi Arabia. And we're about to get the Skateboard Street men's qualifications underway. 12 of the top athletes in the FIS history books out here today. I am Ryan Meyer, host of the FIS, joined with our skateboard expert, Thomas Winter. Thomas, thanks so much for joining us out here.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
It's been a good one so far. How have you been liking the desert? We switched locations from Jeddah as we were on the west coast, right on the waterfront last year. Now we are on the eastern province in Al Oasis. This is for the Battle of the Champions. What does this mean for the skaters out here today?
It's just let me put it like this: we have the best lineup that we've ever had at any FIS event that we ever organized. We got 13 of the best riders in the world that are gonna compete today to get one of the 8 spots that will be guaranteed for tomorrow's finalists. And on the screen now, for example, we got Matias Del Olio coming from Argentina. Briefly, we saw Danny Leon from Spain. But let me walk you through the list that we have. We got Nick Palmquist from the US, Benji Garcia from France, Matias Del Olio from Mar del Plata, Argentina, Manny Santiago from the US, Dave Baczynski from the US, Greg Lutzka, again, United States of America, Timotej Lampe-Ignic from Slovenia, Danny Leon from Spain, Kishore Johnson, Long Beach, US, George Poole from the UK, Xander Gabriel from Los Angeles, California, Joseph Garbaggio from France, and our last year's champion, Richard Turi, coming from Slovakia, Košice.
As these are some of the top names in FIS contest history, are there as well some new names that we've seen out there on the list?
We got some some first-timers, some of the biggest names in skateboarding, as I said. But let's get back to the contest. We got Benji Garcia in the skate park, and his time has started. We got 38 seconds to go. You saw a tray flip up the Euro gap. This is, as I said, out of the 13 skaters today, only 8 are gonna make it to the finals tomorrow. But you know what's the good news? Everyone is getting paid here. It goes, the prize money goes all the way to the bottom of the field.
It's a great thing that FIS does for the athletes out here in the action sports scene. What is Hurricane Park sculpted for us on the skateboard course? Tell me some interesting features out there.
I mean, every feature there in the park is interesting. We got a beautiful A-frame. We got a bump to bar. We got this hubba that Benji just tray flip 50-50. Wow. We got the big quarter pipe with the pool coping. We got the hip that Benji just skated. A couple Euro gaps, a 13-stair rail with a hubba, a metal hubba, then A-frame hubba. It's just so many obstacles you can skate that every single rider out there has something to hit. And that was a really good round now. We're looking at the logo and a couple replays. Tray flip up the Euro gap. Then a front blunt pop out on the bump to bar. Then that late shove it on the A-frame, the gap to A-frame. And the tray flip 50-50. So sketchy, but made it look good.
Didn't notice that one so much in the real time. Nice to be able to catch some of those slow motion highlights. We're gonna have to wait and see. That was our first skater to go in the field of 13 out here.
We were supposed to have Nick Palmquist starting the contest, but he said he's battling an arm injury, so maybe Nick didn't start. At least we didn't see him skate, so it all went straight to Benji. And we're waiting for the judges to set up the scores, because based off of the first score, that's what the judging scale is gonna be. So it always takes a little bit of time for the judges to have it set properly for the rest of the riders to be scored well.
Thomas, you're out there skating at all these events as well. It's nice to look at your social media and see you traveling around the globe. It's not very often, though, that you get to come out to Saudi Arabia, is it?
It is very amazing to me. Like I said it last year, I was in Jeddah last year. Now I'm here in Al-Asa, and it's just once in a lifetime experience. So that's what makes me appreciate it a lot.
So with that said, we just got to give a big shout out to the GSA, the General Sports Authority of Saudi Arabia, for increasing the physical demand and activities out there for the youth and for the inhabitants of Saudi Arabia, and as well welcoming us, the FIS, to show you the high level of action sports around the world brought to the Arabic Desert here.
Let's also say who builds the parks for us. It's a Hurricane company that goes around the world and builds these amazing parks. They just fly them everywhere to every event we do.
Yeah, Hurricane Parks, one of the top partners with the FIS organization, coming around the globe and bringing these ramps, shipping them and constructing them in all these remote locations. Have a huge shout out to them as well, changing up the dynamic for all the athletes time and time again. For every event, it appears a little bit different, but such perfection goes into these parks and into the building process. Extremely excited to see such a course like this perfected in the desert here. And under the lights, giving some true Montpellier authenticity, doing it at nighttime in the desert with all these massive arena lights. Looks like a gladiator ring out there for the Battle of the Champions.
It's just so spectacular to look at. Whenever you skate at night and there's the lights are on, it feels different. It feels different than skating during the day. But yeah, we just had Matias Delolio, Argentinian professional skateboarder, that joined us here at the Battle of the Champions. And look at that beautiful frontside feeble grind. Then a half gap no slide 270 out down the metal hubba. Big spin from board to fakie on the A-frame rail. And a feeble grind on the A-frame rail. That was a beautiful round. I saw Matias miss the blunt kickflip, but hopefully it's not going to affect his score too much. Next rider up is going to be Manny Santiago, everyone's favorite. Your favorite skater. So Manny's dropping in. 50 seconds are going to start with the first trick. And there we go. Kickflip into the bank. Kickflip frontside 50 on the bump to ledge. Still 40 seconds to go for Manny, going nollie with a nollie no slide on the hubba. Taking it easy. All you gotta do today is basically stay in the top 8, so make sure you skate tomorrow because that's when it matters. Manny doing a gap, kickflip across the A-frame gap. Then kickflip 50-50 on the A-frame rail. That is such a difficult move. No wonder he's one of the best skateboarders in the world. Huge on social media. He, as I said, like well-established professional skateboarder.
Absolutely huge figure in the eyes of so many action sports enthusiasts, and especially skateboarding.
Oh! Missing a kickflip crooks right on the buzzer, but how amazing was that round? You see what it takes? It's just he's so good he doesn't have to rush.
Yeah, exactly. And you said you just want to stay on top of the 8. You notice he has another heat and another run left in him to perfect some of that and make sure he does get one of those positions into the finals tomorrow.
Manny is known to be flipping and heel flipping or spinning his board at all times. And then I'm just gonna say at 80% of the time Manny was flipping his board during his round. It has to be a big score. We're gonna see the scores right after the 4th or 5th skater in Heat 1. We're gonna see the global overall score of all riders, and then starting from Heat 2, we're gonna see the scores coming after each rider. And then next rider up, Dave Baczynski, another huge professional skateboarder coming from Los Angeles, California. Manny Santiago's best friend. These guys have been growing up together. They travel together. They skate all the contests together. They filmed a video part, Salt and Pepper, together. And Dave's in the park, starting it off with a frontside 5-0 down the hubba. Coming for a quarter pipe. Dave Baczynski magic. Frontside kickflip in the quarter. And a 5-0 to switch crooks on the hubba. Switch blunt to fakie in the quarter pipe, coming back, and a nose blunt on that big quarter pipe. That has to be 2.5 meters tall. A little nollie over the A-frame to set up for a frontside kickflip disaster. Still 19 seconds to go with a perfect round so far. Backside 50-50 on the square down rail. Coming fakie for the hip, setting up for a full cab heel. 7 seconds to go. So far, a perfect round with a lot of flipping tricks. And wow! Front blunt kickflip in the quarter pipe. That has to be a huge score. Man, I'm so excited on that lineup we got. That was a beautiful round by Dave Baczynski.
Dave Baczynski setting things high in the bar level with judges. Third rider to drop right now of the qualification.
It has to be an overall first score, for sure. It was such a perfect round. Let's wait for a couple of replays. We're looking at the frontside 5-0, the first trick in Dave's round. Then coming for the 5-0 to switch crooks.
Oh, beautifully
Oh,
executed.
yeah, man. Nose blunt. You saw that ollie into the nose blunt. And frontside kickflip disaster. That full cab heel over the hip. And then that front blunt kickflip. Wow.
Flawless run. That 5-0.
Goes
That
held
big
so
hubba.
nicely.
Yeah.
Like, it just
So
makes me
beautifully.
feel good watching it.
That's why I love that trick, the nose blunt there. It's really getting high pop on that ollie.
It's just, everything was so well executed. I enjoyed that round a lot. Look at that. He is the only person I know to do this trick in a contest. He
just so
makes
calm.
it look so easy.
So easy.
Wow. I've never even tried. That's how difficult that trick is. I've never attempted to do it. Wow.
Coming from Thomas, you're going all over the world, actually. We just looked at your map of places you haven't been. I think it seems like the world you've basically taken over, maybe 10% of it you haven't been to. Skateboarding's been taking you around the world, hasn't it?
I've been skating a lot. Oh, there we got the scores.
There we go. Benjamin Garcia in first place right there with an 80.33, giving a big lead over Dave Paczynski, who just saw round up in second place there, and Manny Santiago from the United States in third place. Followed fourth place.
Yeah, and then Matias Del Olio from Argentina currently sitting in fourth. We go to the second rounds. Benji Garcia's dropping in, and as soon as he does the first trick, the time's gonna start. Gap to back tail on the bump to bar, actually the bump to hubba. Then a tray flip up the Euro gap. No comply on the bank to turn around. Getting speed for the bump to bar with a front blunt ollie out. It's actually a proper ollie out that Benji does. Half cap 50-50 on the metal hubba in the middle of the park. Oh, big spin backside disaster revert in the quarter pipe. And that ollie late shove it on the A-frame gap. Still 10 seconds to go for Benji. He's probably gonna go for the tray flip 50-50 again. And getting it done. Perfect round 2, 1, and that's right on the buzzer. Oh, beautiful back biggie. Wow, what a round.
So stepping it up a few spots right there, fixing, cleaning a few things in his run.
How good is that feeling when you're sitting on the top and you top up your own round?
Yeah.
It's just like you're on the top of the
I
wall.
wish I could have felt that
Oh,
one
yeah,
once in my
right.
life.
Oh, true. I don't know if I've ever felt that, but it has to be nice. Let's look at the replays. Back tail. Beautiful tray flip up. Everything's so clean. Look at that back biggie disaster revert. And that tray flip 50-50 getting it done real clean this time. As I said, we're gonna wait for the scores until all the riders skated their second rounds. Next up, Argentinian Matias Del Olio, coming all the way from Mar del Plata, Argentina. A 30-hour flight to get here to Saudi Arabia to be with us. Frontside feeble on the up rail, coming down with a half gap, no slide 270 out. Setting up for a front blunt in the quarter pipe. So far, so good. 35 seconds to go for Matias. Big spin from board to fakie on the A-frame rail. 20 seconds gone. 30 seconds to go. Nollie, no slide on the concrete hubba. Towards the side of the skate park. Then back 270 over the hip. 18 seconds to go. You got it, Matias. Setting up, coming fakie for the hubba again. And going for a half cap, no slide. Nollie heel out, wow. Blunt to back disaster, and that's gonna be time right there. That back tail was for the audience. And the tray flip, just keep it going, Matias.
How many can we keep linking?
Yeah, right, just keep going. What a round, man, wow. See, that's why we are having the Battle of the Champions, because all these riders are champions. Anyone can take it tomorrow. It's just, people ask me, who do I think will take the contest? I was like, I don't know.
That's the difficult thing. It's an all-star showdown. It's basically video game practice. Who's been doing the best off-season training? Who's been doing the best filming? to stay up on top, and as well, you just get pushed by all those other top competitors that you're out there with on the playing field.
So true. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I feel like I'm holding a remote control and just controlling these riders because they do incredible, insane tricks. Okay, there we go. Next rider up is going to be Manny Santiago, coming all the way from Los Angeles, California. Always smiling, always hype, bringing good vibes with him wherever he goes. And time's going to start with the first trick. That's going to be the kickflip into the bank. Then the kickflip frontside 50-50 on the bump to ledge. 43 seconds to go for Manny. Going nollie with a nollie no slide on the metal hubba down. 35 seconds to go. Backside 50-50 stall to turn around. And coming for the gap with a kickflip on the A-frame gap. And a kickflip 50-50 perfectly done on the round rail. Yeah. That is very difficult. 50-50 again. 17 seconds to go for Manny. Getting the Smith grind on the A-frame. And then 9 seconds to go. He's coming up for the kickflip crooks. A little step off right at the end. And that's going to be time for Manny Santiago there.
Manny Santiago, all the way from LA, out here visiting us in the Saudi Arabian desert.
It slipped into a no slide, but I'm just gonna say it was sort of a contest make. Let's see what the judges think. Let's look at the replays. We saw the kickflip frontside 50-50, and the kickflip backside 50-50 on the round rail with the A-frame Smith, and that was the kickflip crooks with that step off. It was locked in as a crooks, but the truck probably didn't get in, so it was a kickflip no slide. Still, he landed it, so it was better than the first round, so the score should be better. But we're about to see after today's round. All eyes on Dave Baczynski. What can he do? Because he had a perfect run.
Dave Baczynski had an incredible run. However, he is not sitting in that top spot. Gonna have to wait and see how this pans out for him. This is going to be the second run. Heat number 1 right here, if you guys are just tuning in, for the Battle of the Champions.
And we just saw him start it off with a frontside 5-0, frontside kickflip in the quarter pipe, coming for the metal hubba, with a 5-0, missing that switch crooks.
How he goes into that.
He does it very easily, just probably a little too short. Coming for the switch blunt, back in the quarter pipe. 27 seconds to go for Dave. Can I do that nose blunt? Oh, not putting it together this time, unfortunately. Still 20 seconds to go. We might see some cool tricks. Whoa! He made the slam look good.
That was sick, actually.
That's a good trick. I wish I could do that. Instead of just like bailing and giving up. Wow, the hard way frontside heel flip over the hip. That was after time, full cap heel back.
Just not being able to get that composure back on those lip tricks. But regardless, had a super stellar first run in the books. Hopefully that's going to hold down for top 8 as the rest of our big heavy-hitting FIS champions take the floor.
How crazy is that?
That was a trick. That is a trick.
Seriously, how much control do you have to be able to do that? Wow. Very impressive.
That's actually very, very amazing. You see our top 4 right there on the board. Benjamin Garcia, Matias Del Odio, David Baczynski, Manny Santiago, round off the top 4 right there. After heat number 2. Pardon me, heat number 1, run number 2. So as you see our next skaters on the field right now. Kids are warming up for heat 2. Just
gonna watch practice for a minute, and then riders in heat 2 are gonna drop in the skate park. We're gonna see another 5 riders, starting with Greg Lutzka from Lake Forest, California, then Timotej Lampe-Ignic from Ljubljana, Slovenia, Danny Leon from Madrid, Spain, Kishore Johnson from Long Beach, California, and George Poole coming from France, representing Great Britain. He lives in France and was born in the UK. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Is that the case?
I can't tell when I speak to him because he has
he's a
such
both.
perfect French and such perfect English that I just
He's a
don't know.
citizen
And I
of
mean,
both.
yeah, we're as well having this discussion about traveling so much. It doesn't really make sense to say that we're from anywhere. But if you guys are from anywhere in the globe, you're able to tune into our social media. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, Fees.official, Twitter and Instagram. Got that at Fees World as well. Get us on YouTube. That's the Fees channel, FISE. That's all you have to do when you go into YouTube to find that. Make sure you guys want to stay involved with all the action. Hashtag your posts for this one, Fees Champ Battle. As well, Fees World for the rest of the series. If you guys are waiting, anticipating the rest of the Fees World series, go online and figure out where the next locations are going to be. This is not part of the Fees World series. This is an introduction battle of the champions. The best of the best out here. We've invited these riders out to the Saudi Arabian desert to compete. Right now, you see on the screen, that's Greg Lutzka ready to drop in for his first run.
One of the biggest and best professional skateboarders that have ever been skating in contests. Won Tampa Pro 3 times, won multiple international events. He won FIS events a couple times in the past. So Greg is very competent to be in this competition. So he got 35 seconds to go. Switch tail to fakie on that metal hubba down. Back 180 alley-oop in the quarter pipe. Greg has been traveling with us a lot over the past couple of years. Just missing that nose blunt, unfortunately, on the A-frame rail. Trying to get speed, going for the down hubba. Front 180. Oh yeah, front 180 nose grind was nice. I thought for a minute he was gonna take a slam, but that was nice. Frontside kickflip the hard way over the hip. And 3 seconds to go, that's gonna be time right there for Greg. And that's after time just for the audience. Missing a tray flip, that's not gonna count. There was one slam in the round, but it was a nice round. I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna make it for the best round. But hopefully the score should reflect the difficult tricks that Greg was doing. Oh, he actually missed the lock in. That's why it looked like he's gonna take a slam. Look at that again. See, he's fully on the latch. That's really difficult to hold. There you see the experience. He's been skating for probably 25 years.
Yeah, and still being able to do contests at this high caliber in your professional career, it's a testament actually to the dedication and love for the sport that all these skaters have. Next up,
Timotej Lampe Ignic, Slovenian professional skater. He's been at FIS so many times. He knows what it takes to be able to make it. So let's see what Timotej's got. 50 seconds starting right now with a backflip down the rail. 42 seconds to go for Timmy. Back 270 over the hip. Taking some strong pushes to get speed. Coming back for the hip. And it's gonna be, oh, unfortunately, not doing that hard flip over the hip. And some quick feet moves. Timotej setting up for a lip slide on the A-frame. And then back D, unfortunately not doing that. And he's still got 15 seconds to go. That's enough time for 2 quick tricks, Timotej. Oh, missing that. He's probably gonna wait for his second round. And that's gonna be time right there for Timotej Lampe Ignic. And his first round. It started really nice. It's crazy to see how little it takes for the rider to lose it, and then it's just so hard to come back.
Yeah, to come back as well. I mean, if you're just skating in the park and you have a mess up, you have like a couple minutes, you go back, recompose yourself. But right here in a contest, you only have this short window that you have to get right back up on it. And if you miss a trick, we've talked about this time and time again for all the events, if you miss a trick, it's really significant to impact your score and that chance of you making it into that top 8 for qualification.
It's just that bubble that just like, it just breaks. And you gotta start it again, you know, bam, out of nowhere.
And man, it comes out burning usually in the gate. Danny Leon.
One of the people who does not get burned out because he does a million tricks. Look at him, he just goes so fast, so powerful. Look at Danny, he's just one of my all-time favorites to watch. Look at that, you hear the people? Finally we hear the crowd. because it's just insane.
Yeah, this is the one thing that we haven't mentioned. As the lights go down, the crowd comes out here in Saudi Arabia. Oh,
Missing a tail slide to fakie. One of the easiest moves in Danny's round. A Spanish professional skater coming from Madrid.
Saw Danny skating that almost impossible mini ramp in the back yesterday.
Oh, easy. He made it look so easy.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, this mini ramp that Ryan is talking about is insane. It's a vert mini ramp.
Yeah, like there's actual vert on the mini.
Oh, so much vert. It's basically a wall. It's just walls.
It's like the gnarliest shallow section of a pool.
Yeah, right. It's like it hits your nose when you skate. When you go from the bottom, your nose of the board hits the wall.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He
And Danny
made it
was
look so
skating this
easy.
so fast.
Oh man, he's a legend. He's so good.
Oh, I love this. It's beautiful, beautiful style out of Danny right here. Unfortunately, missing tail slide, I believe.
Yeah, he missed a couple tricks, so he's probably gonna wait for his second score. That's the score he's gonna try to have dialed in.
You know, I always feel it's like
Next
that,
rider.
that
Look at
First,
this.
oh,
The beast.
Kishore Johnson.
The beast, the man, the only guy skating up rails and making them look small. Kishore starting it off with a fast frontside nose grind. Look at that spin grind.
You know, Kishore always has something in the park that he dissects and does totally different than the other athletes. I'm really interested to see what he does on this one.
It's not.
There we go.
That Smith grind pop in is insane. Nobody understands. That's why I'm mad when he gets scored low, because nobody else in the world skates like him. I'm such a big fan of this guy. It's just his skateboarding makes me freak out.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You know what it is? He's just tall, so he makes it look easy and small. But don't be mistaken, it's insane. The stuff Kishore does, please everyone look twice.
Oh.
His tricks are super next level. I'm hoping it's gonna be a huge score.
Oh, just missing the buzzer, but a big smile on Kishore's face here. Let's see.
I mean, he didn't miss anything. He just did everything. He had a perfect round. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you,
I'm excited to
Kishore.
see. I'm excited to see how this goes as well. Man was talking about, hey,
He's hyped.
you know, we're going for all these amazing locations. I'd like to see if you guys put Korea in the mix. So you know, just putting that out.
He's a
Seoul.
big K-pop fan. That's why.
Fees Seoul, maybe? Yeah, we should do some K-pop karaoke. But hey, later talk about that. Right now, we are in the desert. I want to see some skating happen under these lights. Kishore Johnson right there, just perfecting that first run. You guys just tuning in, this is FIS Battle of the Champions 2019. We are live from Ala Oasis, Saudi Arabia. Right now, Kishore Johnson just went the second man in heat number 2.
And absolutely crushed it with a perfect round skating up the rails. We're waiting for the scores. As I said previously, we're gonna see the scores coming after the last rider in the heat. And in just a couple seconds, we're gonna go and watch the last rider in the heat, and that's gonna be George Poole. Oh, George is not skating, so we're back to the skate park watching Greg Lutzka's second round. Greg's doing an ollie in and a front tail back to straight on the bump to ledge. Coming switch for a switch tail to fakie. Keeping that speed.
That's interesting.
Back 180 alley-oop.
Seen George Poole, right, training before he got here. So I wonder if something happened or if he's going to continue at the end of the heat, maybe. Interesting to see, though. Greg Lutzka right there, perfecting, getting the lock on that nose grind.
He's a perfect round. Oh! Missing a frontside flip the hard way over the hip.
The hoax is up.
And Greg is master of frontside flips. I'm pretty sure you guys know. And a fakie flip over the hip. Greg showed up last minute. He flew in from the US yesterday. And because of some flight issues, he got in at 1 a.m. today. Straight from the States. So probably the jet lag is kicking a little bit. Let's look at the replays. Front 3 up the Euro gap. And the front tail back to straight on the bump to ledge. Back side ollie alley-oop in the quarter pipe. Setting up from the front 180 nose grind. down the concrete hubba. That hubba has perfect dimensions. Today I was in the park just skating with the guys. I love that hubba.
Yeah?
It's so perfect. It's really good. So
You see the crowd out there? Nice to have. When the lights go down here, it really seems like the venue packs up. And nice thing as well about the venue here, all the courses are put in this nice box, really close to one another. But as well, the grandstands, that VIP area protecting against the wind on this, so it's not hurting too much. Timote Lampe Ignic. How's my pronunciation on that one?
yeah, that was good pronunciation.
I usually leave it to you
Now
on
you know
that
his
one.
name after a couple of years, Timote Lampe Ignic. There you go, Timmy, yeah, you got it. Back 270 over the hip. You just saw Timmy do a backflip down the rail as the first trick, then the back 270. Get in the hard flip this time. Still 32 seconds to go, 3 seconds, 3 tricks already. Front lip on the A-frame rail. 24 seconds to go for Timote. Back D in the quarter pipe. Trying to get some speed for the back tail. A little kiss the rail back tail. Setting up for the, missing a kickflip up the Euro gap. That's probably one of the easier tricks in his line. 3 seconds to go, that's gonna be time right there for Timmy. Representing Slovenia here in the Al-Asa Oasis in Saudi Arabia, the Battle of the Champions. Let's look at the replays. Backlip, I didn't know he did it a little sketchy. Then the back 270 over the hip, perfectly executed. Front lip. Timote has been traveling with me around the world for many years. I've been friends with this guy for a long time. Always good to see him coming to the FIS event.
So we wait for the scores to come in. With Timote right there, we are gonna go back and check out. See, nobody skating right now. See Danny Leon on top.
Rider up.
Waiting to drop in.
Dropping in the big quarter pipe with the pool coping, getting speed. That's so crazy. He does it every go, making it look like nothing. Wow. He's just charging. That was a back 3 Indy. Up onto the platform. Missing the front tail again. Come on, Danny, you got this. 33 seconds to go. I was gonna say in the first round, Danny is a professional skater doing it in both bowl and street. He's one of the best in Europe in both disciplines. It's just so crazy to have someone so talented. Front 180, front side 50-50, back 180 out on the bump to up rail. 10 seconds. Big frontside air over the hip.
You see some of that bull
frontside
action.
5-0 into the quarter pipe. Back 270 over the hip. Still 2 seconds to go. Time for the last trick, Danny. That was a south flip and then back flip on the A-frame. See, speaking of, it's hard to come back after taking some slams. He fully came back, like two bad slams. It felt like, yeah, that's it for Danny. He's probably not gonna continue in this round. And then boom, 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 boom. That's 6 really good tricks. But let's speak about the judges. We got 3 international judges here doing the judging for us, and all of them are well-respected professional skateboarders. Willie Santos, one of the biggest professional skateboarders in the history of skateboarding, coming from California. Marko Jaspinsek, Slovenian professional skateboarder living in California for probably 30 years, another professional skateboarder, a skateboard legend. And Alexis Josion, one of the best European professional skateboarders that have been filling the magazines and filming video parts for decades. So we have the best qualified judges here. But back to the skate park, Kishore Johnson starting with a nose grind up the rail, and then a Smith grind into the bank. Big frontside air over the hip, frontside 5-0 in the quarter pipe. So entertaining to watch Kishore skate. Feeble grind up the A-frame rail. 32 seconds to go. Whoa! Big frontside flip at the A-frame gap. Kishore stepping it up. He's probably singing in first. I didn't see the scores, but it's just my rough guess. Oh, trying to go gap to backside 5-0. Missing the 5-0, about 15 seconds to go for Kishore.
That is a high level of difficulty.
Then 9 seconds to go. It's gonna be time for the last trick, Kishore. Let's see what you guys coming and switch for the big rail. Whoa! Wow! Oh, I
Kishore.
can't wait to see this go down tomorrow. He's
Kishore.
definitely making the cut, that's for sure. So let's see him do a switch front feeble down that rail tomorrow.
This is
Look
what
at him
this is
clowning
what I
in
was
the
talking
park.
about. Though, always finding something insane to do in the park. Oh, look at
weak.
just incredible.
Look at that smile he knows.
The
He knows
smile,
it.
he's like,
It's like,
"Oh,
that felt good.
I'm having so much fun.
Oh man, I'd have so much fun too. I've never done that. Wow, what a run again. Yeah, but please everyone, go look at Kishore's Instagram. It's at Kishore, Kechaoud. It's insane. Insane skating. He skates up rails. Just whoever is familiar with skateboarding, please do yourself a favor.
There we go. After run number 1 so far, this is what it looks like. Your top 8. Benjamin Garcia, Kishore Johnson right there in second place with 79.83. Matias Del Olio, Dave Buczynski, Manny Santiago in 5th, Greg Lutska 6th, Timote Lampe Ignic in 7th place, and Danny Leon rounding out the top 8. Those are going to be the riders that you want to see if they can stay and make it into the finals tomorrow. But that's not all we got so far today. We still got a whack load of incredible skaters coming your way. Who do we have?
We got the
coming
best
up
from
next?
last year. We got the best from the last year's standings.
Got the absolute best in the house right now. We're gonna wait and show you right there who is gonna be skating right there. I see
Gonna be one of my best friends.
Risha
Right
Touré
Sander
on the
Gabriel,
course.
Risha Touré, and Joseph Garbaggio.
Joseph Garbaggio, you see right there, skating in the blue jeans. I mean, talk about a heavy-hitting line of skaters in the FEES series. This is them.
I'm just gonna make this simple. I'll put it out there. Joseph Garbaggio, our last year's winner from Jeddah. Richard Touré, the overall champion of FEES 2018. And Xander Gabriel, overall 4th in the overall rankings of FEES 2018. Making podium a couple times last year. That's just the best we had last year. I want to see how they do compared to Manny, Dave, Greg, all the big names and heavy hitters. And we see George Poole. Speaking of George Poole, look, we got George in the park too. He wasn't supposed to be skating, but for some reason he moved to this heat.
Yeah, so
He looks like he's hurting a little bit, so probably George took a bad slam, and that must have been the reason why the judges put him in the last heat. So we're gonna see George Poole in this heat too. And George is in. Time's gonna start with the first trick. It's gonna be a front lip on the bump to rail, then a nollie backside 50-50 on the way down, then a backside nose blunt in the quarter pipe.
Nice, George.
36 seconds to go, front 180 over the A-frame gap. Coming with a back 180 to 50-50 on the A-frame hubba. 20 seconds to go for George. Setting up for nollie. Coming nollie from board on the A-frame rail. I like the tune. 13 seconds to go, backside 5-0 on the hubba. And that's gonna be time for last trick, George. A quick 1, 5, 4, 3, and that's gonna be time with that naughty frontside feeble grind. That was a really nice round. Perfect round. You could tell George was a little shaking from probably from taking the slam. Let's look at the couple replays. Nollie backside 50-50. That's setting up for the backside nose blunt in the quarter pipe. Then that back 180 to 50-50 on the A-frame hubba. And the that's the nollie front board on the A-frame. Backside 5-0 on the concrete hubba ledge. And that was the replays for George Poole. We're waiting for the next rider, and that should be Xander Gabriel, if I'm not mistaken. There we go, wearing that Sugar t-shirt. Xander Gabriel, Van Nuys. Los Angeles, California. Originally from Ohio.
Xander Gabriel.
That boy.
What a boy. One of the nicest skaters I know from LA.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite human beings. Not only a skateboarder, on and off the board, a champion.
Champions. You guys are all great, actually. I love hanging out with all the different sports disciplines. It's fun. This is one of the only skate events, actually, that I get to commentate, so it's great to have you guys.
And there we go, gap to lip slide. Starting it off really strong. front blunt on the A-frame rail. All within 7 seconds. Wow! A nice quarter pipe combo. A blunt to no slide revert. Oh, sketchy tray flip over the A-frame. Holding on, Z, just stay on, please. Back blunt. Another really tall guy like Kishore with a really smooth style. It's very rare to see someone tall have good and smooth style. Xander is a good example of a skateboarder with a good style. Crooked grind on the bump to ledge. 10 seconds to go. Gonna be time for the last 1 or 2 tricks for Xander. Setting up for the Euro gap. Oh, missing a hard flip up. And that's gonna be time right there. Right on the buzzer, missing the last trick. Should be enough. Let's see what the judges think in just a couple minutes. Let's look at the replays. A-frame, frontside blunt slide. Then the blunt to no slide revert in that quarter pipe. And then the big gap to crooks on the bump to latch. Next rider up should be Joseph Garbaggio, member of the French national skateboard team, winner of last year's Jeddah FIS event here in Saudi Arabia. And Joseph is in. Time starting with the first trick, and that is the tray flip up the Euro gap.
Joseph Garbaggio has really shown us that he has the ability to put it down under pressure.
He always does, man. Back Smith, followed up with a back D and a crooked grind into the bank. 34
Just
seconds
such
to
fast
go.
skating. You know, you've mentioned this so many times in other contests, how many extra tricks Joseph is able to get off in his run.
That's what makes him stand out. That's like, it's not necessarily the difficulty of the tricks. He does crazy tricks, don't get me wrong. But it's the amount of tricks he does. He just skates fast and just stacks up the tricks. Front 270 over the hip. Still 10 seconds to go, and that was probably 8 or 9 tricks. And that 5 seconds to go, A-frame frontside feeble grind, and that's gonna be time right there in 1 second, and that is the buzzer. Perfect run. He's like, I want more. Just give me more time. I still got something to show. Look at the logo and the replays. Tray flip to start it off. The back Smith on the up rail. The big backside air over the hip. Nose blunt on the concrete hubba. Frontside feeble grind on the A-frame rail. Boom, FIS logo. And next rider. Who's the next rider? He's a champion. It's Richard the Touré.
Richard the Touré, also known as, in this part of the woods, as Richard Touré.
It's the man, Risho. Let's do this.
Still coming back from that wrist injury.
Oh!
Richard, come on.
Missing a big spin board slide on the A-frame rail.
But one thing, notice, you said, and you've made me notice as well, obviously, is Richard flips into most of his grinds.
Yeah.
It's incredible to watch.
Really
in,
talented.
out.
Like heel flip nose slide. You don't see too many people in the world do this trick. It's just really different. Nollie heel over the hip. Still 20 seconds to go, Risho. Just one slam. It's hard to have the first trick not work out. Kickflip backside 50-50 on the metal hubba. 10 seconds to go, Risho. He's gonna have time for maybe 2 tricks. Definitely one that's gonna be a kickflip front board. And that's gonna be time right here. So this one's gonna be just for the crowd. Back 180 nose grind. Oh, taking a hard slam on his elbow. He broke his elbow last year towards the end of the season. He had a surgery on the elbow. So whenever he takes a slam on the elbow, it's a big mental block he has to go through. Let's look at the replays with the nose blunt. Luckily, it was after time, way after time. That heel flip nose slide on the hubba. Kickflip backside 50-50 on the metal hubba ledge. Kickflip front board on the rail. At least he flipped in everything, so that makes him stand out. Like Joseph does a lot of tricks. See, it's just every skate park in the world is different, and because FIS was on a break for a minute, it's hard for these riders to get used to the wood because it doesn't slide at all. It gives you 0 room to slide your board, which is good. I like it. But when you skate different parks, it just takes time to get used to FIS again. Because this was the first day of us having the chance to skate the park, these riders are gonna have tough time getting adjusted to it. It's gonna be way better tomorrow, but it's just for the first day. It just takes some time to get used to it. And you saw that's why I'm saying that is because Risho couldn't spin his board enough for the big spin board slide. That's why it didn't spin enough, and it kind of went into sort of a feeble grind, which he didn't lock in, and that's why he bailed that trick. But we're gonna go back to the top of the order. That's gonna be our substitute skater.
I think
in
George
this heat.
Poole right
George
there.
Poole, looking at the aerial view, beautiful aerial view of the venue we got here in the Al Ahsa Oasis in Saudi Arabia. Thanks to Saudi Arabian Sports Authority government for having us here. And George is in. We got George in the park, 47 seconds to go. He's going nollie for a nollie backside 5-0, stepping it up. Backside nose blunt, pop back into the quarter pipe. 37 seconds to go for George. Front 180 over the gap. Getting some speed for back 180 nose grind. He's fully recovered from the...
Oh!
Just when I said it.
George!
You know what? That's the worst.
How, George?
When you take a slam, when you push in a contest, that's like, what am I doing? It's like, and then you go, oh, nah, he's off. He's probably like, oh, Lord, why did this happen?
I'm sorry for laughing, but like,
sometimes
what else you do? We know you're so much better than that, and that's just like the worst thing that could possibly happen. That's like me trying to skate a skateboard contest.
It's not that
I would like
people
take
care,
I could like maybe make it down ramp, and then I try and push and just fall.
Personal feelings, it just hurts. You like, I nollie backside 5-0 and then back 180 nose grind the hubba. So let's just take a push, but no, it's just skateboard doesn't want me to do it. It's like, why? No, we were laughing.
Sorry,
but no.
George. I'm sorry, man.
I'll take this back. George is an amazing skateboarder, and he does tricks I cannot do, and he just fully deserves to be here and fully deserves to be in every competition around the world. But it was just funny to see someone taking a slam when they push. It happened to me in Berlin at a competition, and I actually got injured really badly while doing that. So that's why it's sort of funny.
You get all your power out of it, so I mean it can be very bad. Here we go, Xander Gabriel though.
You got Sandy in the park, starting it off with a gap to lip slide. Hopefully his family's watching. They usually do. Frontside blunt slide on the A-frame rail. Xander's putting it together. Blunt to nose slide coming switch, turning around. 35 seconds to go for Xander, setting up for the tray flip. Getting it down perfectly this time. So 30 seconds to go. Back blunt on the A-frame hubba. Then 23 seconds to go. He's setting up for the gap to crooks, probably. Oh, gap to nose slide this time, switching it up. 12 seconds to go. And that's gonna be the last trick. Should be that hard flip, getting it this time. That was a very important trick in his round. And a frontside feeble after time. Boom, after the buzzer. That doesn't count. It was a perfect round. Fingers crossed. Hopefully Xander makes the cut.
Well, we're taking 8 riders into the finals tomorrow. Is that correct?
8 out of 12. We only invited 12 of the best skateboarders we had, and 8 out of them are gonna skate the big finals tomorrow, where it matters. That's where the big money is.
If you guys
we're having 20. I think we're having 20 euro or 20,000 euro prize money.
We have a lot. We have a lot on the line actually for all the disciplines. We're looking at racking in a large number of spectators. We had over 183,000 spectators last year in Jeddah alone, and we're looking to top those numbers out here in the desert of Saudi Arabia. Let's see if Xander is able to step in there, but as well, let's see if Joseph Garbaggio is able to clean up a few faults from his first run. Maybe add a couple tricks from his first run.
I'm just going to say, that is a huge number. I didn't know we had 180,000 people. Let's have 250 this time. 250,000.
Let's do it. The FIS World Series has taken in over 10 million live spectators throughout its time frame. Looking to top those numbers.
And we will. This is going to be the biggest year yet. But let's get back to the park for Joseph's round. Still 30 seconds to go. You saw him having flawless runs in the round so far. getting speed for the backside air, coming back, getting a nose blunt on the hubba. He never steps off his board. It's so entertaining to watch him skate. Frontside 270 over the hip, 10 seconds to go for Joseph. 7, 6, back 270 lip.
Oh,
he
beautiful.
He made it look like a board slide.
So incredible.
Oh, wow. Thank you for making skateboarding look good, Joseph. Wow.
Okay,
what
there
a
we
round.
go. So that is it so far.
That's
Joseph
it,
Garbaggio.
and it's all to the last rider, Richard the Turi from Košice, Slovakia. Hopefully everyone in Košice is watching.
Beautiful action right there. Checking some
replays.
highlight replays from Garbaggio's.
Over the hip.
Such a nice tweak over that.
Then the frontside 270 over the hip. Back 270 lip, perfectly executed.
Wow,
Like
it doesn't get
nothing.
better than that. That was video game
there's
perfection.
Nothing you could do better.
That was
that
incredible. That's incredible.
Okay, last rider up today, Risho Turi, 50 seconds on the clock. Timer starting with his first trick.
Oh, again,
Big
Risha
spin board
Turi
slide.
mixing it up out of the gate, missing that big spin. Oh, and looks like almost getting
Fakey
hung
disaster.
up.
Yeah, it's just the skate park. That's what I was saying. Nose blunt, then turning around in the quarter pipe. 32 seconds to go for Richard. Heel flip. Oh, missing that heel flip nose slide. Our defending champion from last year, the entire season, defending champion from the last stop in Chengdu. Missing his second round. He's gonna come back for the heel flip nose slide. Getting it done this time. Turning around, setting up for the rail on the way down. Kick flip front board. 5 seconds to go for Richard. And that's gonna be time for the last trick. Buzzer right now. And a back 180 nose grind on the concrete ledge.
So that is going to do it for Risha Turi and our last skater out of our 3 heats right there for the FIS Battle of the Champions in Las Oasis, Saudi Arabia. Taking some replay looks at some of the highlights from Risha Turi right there.
Kickflip from board on the down rail. Looking at the FIS logo, you guys saw a couple of the replays of Richard. We're gonna wait for the scores, and in just a couple seconds we're gonna see who the top 8 finalists for tomorrow are.
So we're waiting to see out here in the desert what's going to go on for tomorrow's rounds. If you guys still want to stay tuned, we have 2 more contests happening tonight under the moonlight in the desert here. It's going to be 7:40. We have the Roller Freestyle Park Pro qualifications happening. And 2 hours after that at 9:10, we're going to have the BMX Freestyle Park Pro qualifications. These are some amazing events going to be happening on the big park course right in front of us. If you guys want to stay tuned as well, we have Finals Day, Saturday, March 16th. Tomorrow, starting things off with Skateboard Street Pro Finals. So that's going to be the finals coming out of the top 8 riders that you see here today. That's going to happen tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon, followed by BMX Flatland Pro Finals at 3:30, Roller Freestyle Park Pro Finals at 4:55, and then the last event at 6. Look at what's on the screen right now. These are your top 8. Benjamin Garcia, Kishore Johnson in second place there, Joseph Garbaggio, Risha Turi, Matias Del Odio, George Poole, Dave Buczynski, and Manny Santiago rounding off the top 8. Those are going to be your finalists, but not to mention Xander Gabriel in 9th place there, Greg Lutska rounding off the top 10th, then Timo Telan Ignic in 11th place, and Danny Leon in 12th place. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in to the FIS Battle of the Champions out here in Allah, Oasis, Saudi Arabia. On behalf of the FIS series, myself, Ryan Meyer, Thomas Winter, and everyone else out here in the desert, thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next action, and catch you tomorrow.
Santiago at 7, Dave Buczynski.